This week on TGC News, FN is suing Ruger, new bolt actions, new pistols, and a bunch more. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I'm John Patton, and if you think ammo is overpriced these days, hit like on this video. I don't really know why, but do it anyway. How's about we start with a little gun industry news? In another case of lawyers ruin absolutely everything, FN is suing Ruger, and I'm betting this will kind of make you laugh. So FN is claiming that Ruger is infringing on their trademark name of the SCAR rifle with the SFAR or SFAR name of their semi-new rifles, a small frame AR. In the suit, it points out that because they pronounce it SFAR, that's part of the problem. They want Ruger to stop using this SFAR name entirely and destroy anything with that name on it and give up any profits they made from this product while using that name. They also cite that Ruger actually doing that, using the name, is causing market confusion and therefore hurting sales of the SCAR. And there are a few other things, but it's just reiteration of the same crap in a different way. The reality here is that no one with a wrinkled brain is going to confuse these two rifles. It's just not happening. FN has f***ed themselves out of sales by pricing the SCAR series of guns between $3,700 and $5,000, while Ruger is under $1,400. It's like pissing in your own Cheerios and then blaming the guy that lives 3 houses down. It's just bonkers. Not only that, but they look very different. One is clearly the AR platform, as one is clearly the SCAR. I mean, really, it's a SCAR. It's just absurd to me. The whole thing is absurd to me. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. Have you ever, confused these two? Are you a smooth brain? While you're typing the answer to that, how's about a sponsor spot?
I also want to hear how many of you have Vertex bags. They are legit my favorite for EDC or trips to the range or even storage in the battle wagon. They are well thought out and have the actual user in mind rather than shoving molly panels everywhere and a bunch of crap you don't need into the bags. And if you use our code TGC at vertex.com, not only will you get a discount of at least 15%, but you'll also be supporting us and helping us bring the news to you every week. The code is TGC, and that's vertex.com.
How's about a new accessory for you guys? SB Tactical has released a new brace. Yeah, I know, it's been a little bit. With the injunction that's going on, they've pushed to get this out and get folks buying new braces again. It's called the SB-A5, and it's pretty simple. It's adjustable, has a couple QD points, and works with carbine buffer tubes. And yes, it's a brace. MSRP here is $125, which is not horrendous. I don't think that's that bad. Moving on, SK Guns has another limited one for us. Yet again, it's a 1911, specifically a Colt 1911, and it's part of their Untamed series of guns, I guess. I don't know. And it's called the Luchando Tigre. Basically, this is for drug lords and the Yakuza because it's got a big gold tiger down the slide. It's chambered in 38 Super because why make it in a good cartridge? And the MSRP is $2,700, and I kind of expected that to be higher. I expected like $3,500, $3,000, $2,700. Okay. PSA is in the news this week with the release of their highly anticipated Krinkov series. Now, a traditional Krinkov, otherwise known as the AKS-74U, is chambered in 545 by 39. However, being that the ammo supply for that cartridge here in the States is borderline just gone for the time being, they have released the first 5 variations in 5.56 NATO. The differences lie in the type of furniture that comes on the gun. There's the fake light version, a plum wood version, a voodoo, aka laminate, classic redwood, and the fancy one with the JMAC rail, ALG trigger, and Soviet arms grip. Soviet arms is actually the name for PSA's AK stuff. All of these 5 variations come with a triangle style brace and a single magazine. Why? Why can't we as an industry figure this shit out? 3 mags, that's the baseline. I'm saying it. MSRP on these, $10.99 up to $12.99. Cameron from PSA was on the TGC podcast not long ago, and we talked about these, and there will be a link in the description so you can go watch that podcast. Now, this week's deal of the week is a little bit different. I'm asking you guys for help on something, and you could get a smoking deal out of it. Our friends at Hold My Guns, one of the best pro-gun, pro-freedom nonprofits around, like this is no BS, they're legit. They are putting on a fundraising auction, and they've got stuff from SIG, Mantis X, Filster, Magpul, Bergara, and I donated a Blackout Coffee package. It's got a bunch of stuff in it, swag, coffee, tea, etc. What I'm asking you to do is go to the link in the description and go support Hold My Guns by bidding on some of this stuff. Put your money into a group that could really use it, and I would like to see grow, and I think you guys would too. There is a link in the description to go do that. Okay, more new guns. Ruger, yes, the same one that's being sued, released a new, like, is there another Ruger, you idiot? They released a new version of the Gen 2 American rifle. This time it's the Predator version, which basically means it's a different color scheme and longer barrels. It has the same stock as the other guns, but it's got a splattered kind of green camo thing. I don't know. I'm going to call it booger camo. And the barreled action has been Cerakoted in what appears to be bile yellow, or maybe that's tan. Can't really tell from the images, but it's actually a nice color combo. I like the way that looks. I just like making fun of stuff. This can be had in 18 different calibers, and the magazine type is based on what's common for that cartridge. For instance, 6.5 Creedmoor comes in AICS pattern mags, while 400 Legend is an AR mag. That's neat. Removable mags are just king for bolt guns as far as I'm concerned. MSRP here is $730 across the board, which is solid. Like, with all those fancy features in one rifle, that's a pretty good option. Moving on from there, Foglio is releasing a new one as part of their Defiant series called the Gold Match OR, and they just announced it in a new cartridge, but I've never covered the gun at all, so let's take a look. Essentially, we have a CZ75 clone with a 6-inch barrel, hell yeah, fancy machined grips, a heavily ported slide, and an optic plate system. I've heard tons of good things about this brand and their guns, but haven't really messed with them for any reasonable round count. This gun can be had in 9, 40, 45, 38 Super, and the one they just announced is the 10 mil, which is carrying 13 rounds, while the 9 is carrying 16 rounds in the mag. Pricing is not very budget friendly at just over $2,200 MSRP, but it could be a rad gun. Foglio owners will be sure to tell us how they feel in the comments. I own this, don't make fun of it. Also in new guns is one from Montana Rifle Company. Now, this brand is what I would call premium. They don't do guns for everyone. They only have two lines. The Highline, which is sort of like a mid-weight rifle that blends hunting and precision style stuff, and now the very traditional looking Highline. These tip the scales at 7.5-ish pounds, which isn't bad considering it's a Monte Carlo style walnut stock. I figured that might be heavier. It's available in 3 calibers, 6.5 Creedmoor, 308, and 300 Win Mag, all of which are guaranteed to shoot under half MOA, aka half-inch at 100, which is neat, but that's only a 3-shot group, which, come on, 5-shot groups? That is the way. MSRP here is just under $2,500. I honestly love the way this thing looks. I really like it. And that kind of performance for that style of rifle is kind of rare in that price range. I'd love to hear how many of you would grab a $2,500 traditional rifle over all the other options out there, like maybe that Ruger. Would you get this over that? I don't know. And while you're typing those thoughts out, I'm going to make another announcement about GunCon. It seems that some of you guys aren't necessarily up to speed on GunCon, so let me break it down a little bit. Let me tell you about the event, and maybe you'll get excited about it. First, it's being held on June 29th of this year in Grinnell, Iowa at Brownells. GunCon is a 2-day event. The first day is a media-only range day. The second day is where you guys come in. This is where things get awesome. We will have 40 to 50-ish brands on hand showing off their latest and greatest products. All kinds of stuff there, from high-end to budget, you name it. Some brands are even launching new products at the event, which is really cool. I also make everyone that sponsors, I make them give away something worth at least $250 or more. In years past, we've given away like 30, 40 grand worth of stuff to the attendees. On top of that, there will be over 150 content creators on hand from channels of all types and sizes. Some you will absolutely know and love because they're huge, they have a massive following, and others you will probably want to get to know. On top of that, we will have several educational seminars going on throughout the day, such as an off-grid communications seminar and a reloading one and things like that. And one of the biggest things is our interactive Q&A panels. These are going to be live streamed, of course, and there will be 3 of them: the 2A panel, the Next Gen Creator panel, and the Elite Creator panel. We bring in food trucks for lunch, which is included in the price of your ticket, and everyone that buys a ticket will be getting an exclusive GunCon t-shirt this year. I mean, it's going to be awesome. It's just going to be a damn good time. Tickets go on sale March 26th, that's a week from today, at 6 p.m. Eastern on guncon.net. If you're a gun-related or maybe even an off-road overlandy kind of brand and you want to get involved, go to that website and reach out to me and we'll try to make it happen. And before I forget, last year the tickets sold out in 3 days. We have increased the number of tickets available for this year, but they will go fast. Be ready to grab yours. I cannot wait to see you guys there. It's going to be amazing.